People will find this new one. It starts to freeze up on me if I go any more stream. It's because I've killed the old one. Yeah, 32 degrees, 8 o'clock at night, or 9. Sure what the missus is doing. I don't know whether we're getting. We bought one of them because we got the extension to the house. We bought a Wi-Fi extender that we don't seem to know how to get work. So we'll have to figure that out in the next few weeks. Because right down the back in the alfresco area to the modem is a long way away. Yep, she was on the dunny. Maybe she's getting another beer. This could be good. You get another cold beer?
No, but I'll get you one.
What are you having?
Just water.
Oh, I'll just have water. That's cool. So I'm not sure if the other stream I did is still up because I killed it, but that doesn't mean that it's not on YouTube. Thank you very much. Yeah, a bit hot for a coffee, yeah. I was going to go another beer, but we're just having water.
From the lounge.
Water.
Wabbit season, you called it.
Hi Alan, on my way to work I will call you later and have phone sex with you if that's okay. Yeah, no worries, Bully. You know I'm community minded. All those lonely people out there. Just give me time to put my lippy and eyeshadow on, will you? Thank you.
What? He didn't say that.
Well, he meant that. I mean,
I will call you later.
Very
Make
lonely.
sure you answer. Bully, you're always saying that.
Hello Buttercup again. I titled this hangout Wabbit Season.
Oh yeah, actually coffee wouldn't be a bad idea. Adam, do you want to make us a coffee? I'll have like a quarter of a teaspoon of sugar, please.
No sugar for me, but I'm just thinking it might be a bit cold by the time we get here.
And the milk first.
Yeah, forget the milk, it could be going a bit sour. Talking a long time before delivery. Actually got and paid for, today we paid for the air conditioning in the extensions, which we're not going to have put in for about another 6 weeks, but it was pretty good. We got 3 good size air conditioners for the 2 bedrooms and 1 for the office, and a big 7 kilowatt for the open living area. So, and that came to 5,000, which we thought was pretty good. And that's installed as well.
So you sure that's installed?
Yeah, it's a good price. But on most nights with the doors open, we'll be happy with just a fan. Like, it's not bad here, is it, tonight? If we had a fan going,
Yeah.
that's all we'd need. So we'll still have like a couple of pedestal fans hanging around, just to throw a bit of breeze on you. Because 30 degrees is not that hot. 43 in the next couple of days, that's hot. I'll admit that. that was my job as a kid, Adam. Clear the pathway. Is white a colour? White is the primary colour, Adam. Believe it or not. All the prisms of the colours of the universe exist in white.
And black.
Yeah, but that was my job. I remember getting up about 5 o'clock, clearing the path, so my parents could walk to their car to drive to work, and us kids used to walk through the snow to go to school. Yeah, I know it's slavery. Are you ready? I'll be very, very quiet. I'm hunting Wabbit. Duck season. It's Wabbit season. Duck season.
His dog's not come back.
Well, if you mention it as a name, like is it green or is it blue or is it white, you're inferring it's a colour anyway. There is a colour spectrum, but the differences between colours can be minute, so there are billions of colours, if you like. In fact, there should be, if you weighed it up, an infinite amount of colours.
Purple.
Definitely purple. It's funny, people and their colours, isn't it? We get people, like a lot of people have their certain colours. Like one of our daughter, Em, she likes yellow a lot. She has yellow.
Pink.
No, but she has lots of yellow as well. Next time you look at the wardrobe, you'll see there's quite a lot of even hints of yellow through colouring.
Oh, that's the dresses she wears, but Jess and Emily, their favourite colour is pink.
But here's a good question for you, Adam, though you may not see one. What is the skin colour of a polar bear? I'm doing a buttercup. Buttercup knows the answer to this, by the way. What is the skin colour of a polar bear? A lot of people don't know this. It's not pink.
Well, it's actually, what is the colour of a polar bear?
The skin of a polar bear is black. You ask the question, why the hell does it look white? Because its hairs are translucent, which means it simply reflects its area. So seriously, I suppose if a polar bear was running through a dark forest, it'd be a darker colour. But yes, it's black. That is the skin colour of a polar bear, and its hairs are translucent. In other words, it will reflect any colour. And it's done for a reason, and in a lot of animals it's similar, but the polar bear makes it exceptional for camouflage. I was about 14 when someone said, what colour's a polar bear? I said, white. No, it's black skin. Okay, no, it's not.
Well, I say snow. What colour is snow? It's white. I'm with you, Adam.
No, I'm with you, Adam, but it's true. The skin of a polar bear is black because of the fact of its hair follicles being translucent. Yeah, no, I was kidding. I'm just saying. But there's like the little brown bear. I think if you put a little brown bear in the snow, it'd still be a brown fucking bear. It'd be a very cold brown bear. Now I'm just going to ask you people, and I'm not going to move the camera, but I want you to look at the doorway. Now, I don't know why it's showing to me, but it looks like my picture on that piece of plastic. Have a look at it and tell me what you see. I see myself in that piece of plastic.
What?
Look at the little...
Yeah, I am.
Look, turn it sideways if you have to, so you can get a bigger picture. And I'm seriously telling you, it looks like me.
I think you're dreaming.
Steam's faster. Actually,
Yeah.
the old trick of throwing hot water in the air during a very cold winter's day.
Adam was quicker than me.
But can anyone see that piece of plastic in the top left-hand corner where it looks like there's an image of me?
And it is a tree branch.
It is. It's a reflection of light going through a tree branch. Now that's weird. I can see my nose, my eyes, my mouth and my beard. Have a look at my camera.
Yeah, see it now. Only because you pointed it out, I can make my eyes visualise what you're seeing, yes.
And I prove it's not me because I have to walk towards the anomaly.
It's alright. Well, Steve's just walked away. He hasn't had his tablets today, so yeah, he hasn't had his tablets.
Fine.
So just go along with him.
Okay. But I can see it clearly. It's weird. It is just the reflection of light coming from behind a tree. But I can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth and the beard. It is weird. It's a sign, I tell you.
That'll be the rumour going around the boy.
Yes, that's it, Tammy. You see the two little windows to the right and then the opening, which is just a sheet of plastic. That's all it is. But it looks like an image of me. But that's my eyes and interpretation. But it's exactly what it looks like. And hello, Tammy. We had some asbestos removed today. Not a lot, just little portions that have to be removed, and it has to, by law, be removed by someone who puts all the clothing on, the mask, the breathing apparatus, and it wouldn't have been any bigger than 5 feet by 4 feet overall, but that cost $350. But it had to be done so we could continue with the build. They treat asbestos in Australia now very seriously. I wonder if I put the camera closer to that, maybe people will see what I'm seeing. See?
It's really getting there.
No, not at all. See, when I come on this angle, you just see, man, I can now see a dark lady walking through a forest. Can you see that, guys?
We'll be doing finger puppets.
It's like the princess of the forest.
We'll be doing finger
It's
puppets.
weird. And now I can see a little puppy dog. Can you see it? It looks like a little terrier.
Now I can see a tree.
Can you see the little terrier there? Now tell me you can't see that terrier. I want everyone to tell me they can't see that little furry terrier with his eyes and his nose.
He's doing finger puppets.
I'm not. I'm showing people what your eyes will interpret. That looks like a little fox terrier.
No, the kitchen's not opened up.
No.
yet.
I'll get closer to the fox terrier. Now can you see the fox terrier? See his two little eyes, his
Yes.
nose?
Yes. No, it's a dragon.
But if I move on a different perspective, you see the dark lady.
Yes.
She appears in the forest once more. So what am I actually trying to say? Well, your eyes will do. See, we haven't knocked through.
I saw a witch.
We had to check to make sure. That's why we cut out sections. And that's old glass plaster. I don't think you'll see in here. But there was some asbestos here. It's been cut out, you can't see because of the light. But it's amazing what your eyes will interpret.
Yes.
But I mean,
I agree.
if I said there was a fox terrier
Yes.
there, that people can't argue with me. It looks like a little fox terrier,
Yeah.
which is weird. But that's my eyes interpretation. I just wonder if I sit down I will see myself again. Let's have a look. No, it's definitely changed. Now it looks like a tree branch. But it's amazing what our eyes will interpret.
Okay, Buttercup, take care. Hey, VMAC. Oh, VMAC, you just missed it.
Keep warm.
Forgot to give Seeds his tablets. He's showing you the...
Well, I can actually still see the little fox terrier there.
Adam.
Alright, one more time, just because VMAC came back.
Alright,
VMAC, I want you to tell me if that picture and that piece of plastic doesn't look like a little fox terrier. Can you see what I'm looking at?
The eyes, the nose, open mouth, the mouth.
Can you see that?
Now it looks like a guy with a moustache.
But then if I go here, you see VMAC in her dark princess outfit walking through the forest. Isn't it amazing what our eyes actually do? But there is a fox terrier.
Yeah, the Loch Ness Monster.
There's some funny quizzes I've been to where people will trick you. Here's a good trick question. Buttercup's gone. She would appreciate this one, but where would you find the Loch Ness Monster? Everyone answers that, Adam, Scotland. Where would you find the Loch Ness Monster? The answer is Loch Ness. I know it's a trick, isn't it? But you get lots of quiz nights that do that to you. Everyone writes down Scotland.
At the bottom of a rum bottle.
Yeah, that'd be right, VMAC. Trying to think of the other trick ones you get. Oh, it's like, here we go. Here's another question, which you'll now know because I've told you how I played that game. What are the furry creatures in Gremlins called? What are the furry creatures in Gremlins called? This tricks so many people. You got it. Gremlins. But they'll come up with things like, oh, fur babies, or they look like hamsters, you know what I
Or
mean?
it goes the other way as well.
What?
When they say about, what's the movie called that has the gremlins in it?
Yeah, and the people would be thinking, oh, I know that one. And they forget that they've been given the answer. That's why it's tricky.
Bang it up to this.
It's cooling down. It's about 30 degrees now. There's no breeze, mainly because the desert wind is about to kick in later tonight. Our minimum will be 25 degrees, if we're lucky. But if you put me up against the option of having to do what VMAC has to do at the moment, is live in a country where it's freezing rain and cold, or here where it's extremely hot, but you can go inside and turn the air conditioner on.
Well, she can go inside and turn the heater on.
I imagine. Actually, I wonder how many of these guys actually have wood fires. I'm pretty sure Adam would have one. When you live inland off the coast in Australia, most places it's bloody freezing during winter because you get desert winds and lots of people have wood fires. Good on you, mate. Good for helping your neighbours out.
Hey, Jojo.
Yeah. We're both doing a build, apparently, Jojo said. I'll be finished shortly. Still waiting for my comedy videos. I reckon you could get away, Jojo, not saying to copy the vlogger puppet, but using something and telling your jokes so you don't have to be on camera. But Jojo is old school funny, and I like old school funny. Double entendre, you know, things that may have two answers, but it's funny because it means one answer, not the other. The funniest show I saw on YouTube was probably a year after it started, which I think was 2004 or 5. There was this guy, and he was only mucking around. He got this breadboard out, chopped up onions, carrots, celery, potato, and he said he's going to make chicken soup. So the next scene you see is the pot on the stove, the water simmering, the veggies going in, and then he turns the camera around, he's got a chicken upside down, a live chicken flapping, saying, "Now always make sure your chicken is fresh.
Oh.
Fresh is best." Now, in those days, that video wasn't taken down.
No.
I'm pretty sure it would be taken down today.
Yeah, you can't.
But I thought it was hilarious.
Oops,
He obviously didn't cook the live chicken, but it was funny. Well, if that was the truth, Jojo, that means you're a Buddhist. Yeah, it's the first, it wasn't even a funny video, it simply said chicken soup. That was the name of the video, and I like cooking, as you know. So I went in there and I thought, oh yeah, those veggies are cut up the right amount, you get the salt and the pepper. And then you just saw the pan, and then it's swinging around and him saying, make sure to use fresh chicken. I've found in my time that generally the people that ring the loudest bell have nothing to offer. You can take that proverb, Seeds 2019. Those who ring the loudest bell have nothing to offer. It's all the little bells that interest me, because there are billions of stories, and that means each person has a story. That's true. Children can be cruel, Jojo, can't they? They actually can. They can be real mongrels sometimes. But they generally just speak what's on their mind. So you got to do these videos, mate. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a little tip for your name of these videos. I would call them J-O Joker. Joe Joker. Picture of a funny clown, you know, the one with the baubles.
No, not a clown. I don't
Well,
like
no,
clowns.
I meant a jester. Sorry, a jester.
Yeah, jester, I don't know why. I find jesters different to clowns. I don't like clowns.
You watch too many scary movies. Okay, for some weird reason, I'm back into that shadow again. See it? You won't see it looking at it.
Yes, VMAC. I do not like clowns.
Send in the cloud.
And what's even creepier is when...
She would never watch any scary movie, forget it.
Yeah, I watched it. I think that's what started it.
No, I don't think you did.
I did watch it. It's been out a long time.
Who's on first?
I have watched it. I don't like it. Same as Psycho. Don't like that either.
Ronald McDonald has been charged with giving children obesity.
Yeah, the
He's now been forced to live in a 1989, well, it's not a B-class, it's got no Danny or shower, van, travelling the world apologising for the obesity that Ronald has caused.
Yes, 1 star.
I just subbed to Shudder. That's a good name for a movie channel. I like the old scary movies, VMAC. Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, Vincent Price. You know, the stuff that if you looked at in the sense of maybe if you lived in 1925, 1930, that would have been a real horror movie.
Some of Vincent Price movies I like, and what's Alfred Hitchcock? I've watched some of theirs.
Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock always did suspense in his movies.
Suspense is slightly different to horror. Ronald McDonald Clown? No, don't really like him either.
Carlos, what's a Mexican's favourite sport? Cross country. Yes. Just another brick in the wall. Hey, Trump, leave those Mexicans alone. Actually, you know, Trump doesn't really care who he takes. It's the French today.
See, what's that other movie I like? The Lost Boys? The Lost Boys, is that what it was called?
I've no idea.
VMAC, help me out. Was it called The Lost Boys?
What was it about?
With the vampires. The 4 or 5 young guys.
No, The Lost Boys.
That's what I just said.
No, you said Lost Voice.
I said The Lost Boys.
VMAC, back me up here. She said...
I said The Lost Boys.
You said The Lost Voice.
I didn't say The Lost Boys.
Okay, right.
We're having a domestic here. Yes, see, The Lost
I think
Boys.
one of them was
it.
Kiefer Sutherland, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Recorded all-time TV series, movies, etc. IGU Probit since Kaza at Napster Captor. Oh yeah. I've got a few old movies that I put up. They're there still. Old cowboys and silent movies. They don't get struck. We don't make any money out of them, but that's not the reason I put them up. I like them.
Yeah, I liked the music out of that movie. And the other one I liked was Fargo.
I prefer the comedy in Canadian humour.
The Fargo's black comedy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I like the comedy. You just watched The Irishman. Who is the main actor in The Irishman? I've not seen it yet. Was it the guy who said, I don't know you, but you've got my daughter. I will find you. And when I find you, I'll kill you. Famous line from that movie, of course.
Yeah, it is a bizarre movie, Adam, but I love it. Yeah. And the other one that kept me suspenders was, oh, now I can't think of the name, it's just gone. You know, with the boat, where those people went on the boat because everyone on the boat got killed. The ghost ship.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you
ship.
watched it. It was made in about 1988, 89. It's simply titled The Ghost Ship.
Have you seen that one, VMAC?
And I won't spoil it for you because it is a very good movie. It is a bit scary.
Yeah, but
and there are the odd ghost, but it's more to do to the event of why it occurred. The Ghost Ship. I'm pretty sure you can watch it free online. Very good movie.
Yeah, Jojo. I love the way they talk in that movie, Fargo.
Canadian humour's pretty much akin to Australian, where it's a lot of dry humour. Like two blokes come across a body on the side of the road and say, geez, he don't look well. You know what I mean? It's things like that. Christopher Walken. I think everybody tries to mimic Christopher Walken.
So have you seen the ghost ship VMAC? I have to go in because my phone's going to die.
Oh. You want me to get the battery charger for you?
No. I'm going to bed shortly anyway.
Okay. I'm not going to be much longer. Some of the movies I've liked over the years have contained a script where somebody dies you never expected to. And you think, why have they taken the main character out? Well, it's intrigue, and it moves on to the other actors within the movie to take up the mantle as main character. You don't expect it to happen, but it does. They're thought-provoking movies. In other words, they're not just the run-of-the-mill good guy catches bad guy loses.
Well, I was going in.
Because that's not how the world works.
I'll leave you with seeds. My phone is about to die.
Yeah, the cats do that, don't they? I reckon some cats, you put on your suit and your shoes are shining, you've got your satchel, you've had your Special K breakfast and orange juice because you're health conscious, you're about to walk out the door and the cat looks at you and says, yeah, go on, make me some more money. Yes, it was about Minnesota, yeah. I had a friend that lived in Minnesota, and he said to me, don't ever come here. I said, what are you talking about? He said, it's hell. It's either searing heat or 15 foot of snow. Take your pick. Pretty sure Minnesota was part of the Dust Bowl at one stage, which Australia is becoming again. I think Endgame, the movie, was about, wasn't it that about kids starting a nuclear war or something? Could be wrong. Could be an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, I don't know. But Endgame, I think that's what it was. You're still traumatised. Now, I take entertainment as it is, that it can be provoking, but it's just entertainment. It doesn't give me sleepless nights. However, the wife doesn't like watching horror movies. I often laugh when I watch zombie movies, which is not often, but I find them funny. I'm thinking about the actor that's acting like a zombie. Thinking, I wonder how much he's getting paid to look like an idiot. Well, I think you may have to travel in different circles, Jojo. There was always ads in the 80s. Now, Jojo will back me up here. In the early 80s, there were ads for women's plumbing care needs, if you like, where the women would be utilising these products and then putting on white jeans and playing tennis. I'm not the only one that noticed that, am I? I'm thinking, what are you thinking? White jeans. Buy Winged Happiness now, and you can put on white jeans and play tennis. Now, that's some sort of devilish advertising when you think about it. The hardest thing in life, I believe this is true, because you become familiar with your work surroundings and what you do and the people you're with. But you know you're not going anywhere. There's no future in regards to prosperity. You're just going to be the run of the mill, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong, that's fine. But when you have it in you to do something different or achieve different goals, you have to push the button because it will never happen otherwise. I remember working for about 3 years for Coca-Cola. Now, by chance, I played pretty high level of sport. Some of the arenas I played in were sponsored by Pepsi. Now, perchance, after a game, having a meal, a beer, sitting down with a few friends, I had a guy come up to me and he said, "Oh, I know where you're from, the town that you're from. Would you be interested in taking on a franchise?" And I said, "Will it cost me anything?" He said, "No, we're willing to give you the franchise just for you to distribute the products." And at the time I was working for Coca-Cola. And I thought, you don't get many opportunities in life that come along because the potential was quite great. Anyway, I was very polite. I sat down with my boss, who was an Italian, had the Coke franchise in the same town, and explained the opportunity that I'd been offered and that I was going to take it up. I brought in, you have uniforms when you work for Coca-Cola. I brought them in. I then handed to them, and then he slammed the door in my face. I think he took it badly. And I just, from the closed door, said to him, "Have a good day. Goodbye." I never drank Pepsi. This is one of the funny things. To this day, I still have the odd can of Coke. I never liked Pepsi. Even though it's a cola, it's pretty close. I just never used it. And even though I sold tons of it every week, I never used it. Pepsi is quite funny if you are old enough to remember what they did. The big advertising campaign that scared the hell out of Coca-Cola and in the end made Coca-Cola change their recipe was the adverts where people would sit down and behind a little screen they were given the taste of two drinks, Coke and Pepsi. Now for some reason, it's a fact, because Coke did their own tests on it, that most people chose Pepsi. About 60 to 40%, that's what it was. Now Coke thought it was just a crap advertising bullshit thing, but they did their own tests and they came up with the same results. That's why in the 80s, this is the truth, Coca-Cola changed their recipe. And what happened next? Well, all around the world, Australia was the same. Truck drivers here were throwing bottles of Coke, smashing them against the Coca-Cola distribution centres here, saying, "Stick that right up your clacker." It happened in America in a big way. It happened everywhere. And Coke went back to their old recipe, and they still are the market leader. Isn't it funny what advertising can do, though? Oh, they did. It was really big here in Australia. People were just smashing it, throwing it up against anything, having big shotgun parties with 10 or 12 crates of Coca-Cola, saying, "We're now drinking Pepsi, you mongrels." But they found a way to get back to the old recipe. But today they're doing the same thing. Look, I'm sure you're all aware that a lot less soft drink or soda is drunk today than it was 20 and 30 years ago. A lot less. It's incredible. Coke have here probably about 9 different types of Coke in supermarkets, from no sugar to classic, you name it, they've got it. And it's a dwindling market. It's just where everyone's going. Most people walk around drinking water. But everyone in the 80s drank Coke. All right, you have a good one, Jojo. You're about to start your day. Have a wonderful breakfast and work your way to another few little greenbacks during the process of the daylight hours. But that was quite an extraordinary time, because that was the same time I stopped working for Coke and went to Pepsi. Now, I had an immediate boost in sales because of Coke's demise. Self-inflicted wound, if you like. I drink very little cola. I mean, we're talking maybe having a scotch every now and then with ice and a bit of Coke. That's about it. We have a lot of wine. I'm not a big wine drinker, but we've got some nice bottles of wine in the house. We tend to drink wine more during the cooler months. We'll have a cold beer during the summer months. Yeah, that would be true, Adam. I mean, you're a great example.
when you work for Coca-Cola, they fill up a cold esky with ice in the morning in your truck,
and you can take whatever you like. I always like ginger beer, so I used to take ginger beer. Never really took much Coke with me. But I remember when I got the Pepsi franchise, I also had a Greek friend who said to me, you must get this in. It was a drink called Lutraki, a water. Came from a special volcanic spring in Greece, and it was genuine. I researched it before I got into it. So I ordered about 10 pallets because it had to come from Greece to Australia. I sold those 10 pallets before they landed because no one at the time was selling water in the early 80s in cafes, delis, supermarkets. I just said to people, would you be interested? And they said, yeah, we'll give it a go. At that time, a bottle of water was costing me about 15 cents and they were selling it in the supermarket for about $1. And I just couldn't believe. My whole company made profit basically primarily through water. And as things have unfolded, you all know there are hundreds of different types of bottles now of water, and some companies only deliver big containers of water to shops and offices and personal homes. It's big business. Me personally, if I want to have a bottle of water, I'll drink that and then I'll turn the tap on and I'll fill it up again. I ain't paying what they want these days in the shop for water, which is, I'm not kidding you, $3 for a bottle of 500 or 600 ml water. Yeah, the wife likes her Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon. She likes that. I like every now and then, usually when I've got fish or chicken, I like a white wine, a Chardonnay, something like that. Yeah, I think it's laziness, VMAC. We have to be brutally honest here. Why do people buy a bottle of water, drink it and throw it away? Because it's just easy. No other reason. One of the things that's taken off here in the last 4 or 5 years, all my kids have got them, is these insulated water containers. They hold about half a litre. And people do that. Hello, Ella. But they just refill. Pinot Gras. Is that what you're saying? Pinot Gras? I think you've forgotten an N there. What are you doing to me, VMAC? You're testing me. Or is it really a Piot Grigio? There's my friend here, the Canadian. Get her a Pigot if you wouldn't mind. Thank you very much. Nice glass of Pigot. Same's happening with Coca-Cola, particularly on the continents like India, Bangladesh. They're furious with Coca-Cola. They've drained so much sub-welled water, artesian water, that farmers that used to only have to put down a 20-metre pipe now have to put a 200-metre pipe. If you look, I'll tell you what to do, and I'm not going to argue with anyone about global warming because it's happening. If you just typed in Google, countries suffering drought, and you look at a map, you will be staggered. Seriously, you will be staggered at the amount of countries that are now under drought. Forget in 10 or 20 years' time. But tomorrow will be 40 degrees or 41 degrees, and then Friday will be 43. So I ain't doing any sanding or varnishing. That's not going to happen. I'm going to sit in a cool room with a cold drink and watch VMAC videos day and night. We've been good. It's been very hot, even by our standards, Ella. We didn't have plasterers work today. It was just too hot. Yesterday we only had one come here because one of the guys suffered heat stroke. So I wouldn't work in this heat plastering. There's no air in a building like this, and you 40 odd degrees. It certainly takes it out. I know one of the guys was drinking about 15 litres of water a day. Just couldn't keep enough liquid in him. It's predominantly a hardwood floor that's coming from the old kitchen wall coming through the kitchen, through the living area, dining area, and going into the office. So it's a beautiful jarrah. It's a hardwood timber in my country. And then the wife wants carpets in the two end bedrooms. I would have put timber flooring everywhere, but she wants carpet, so that's okay. You'll love it when you see the finished product of a jarrah floor. If you can imagine an old school with those hard wooden floors, clippity-clop, clippity-clop. And to give you an idea, it's a premium timber, and in this area that I'm in the office, won't see any change out of about 17,500. But you pay for what you get. I've always loved timber. It's just something appealing to me. I mean, I don't know whether you can see that's the part of the jarrah window that's going to be filling that hole. Either side of that are two very similar single windows with sash windows that we can pull up to let a nice breeze in. All right, it's not extremely late here, but I got up at 5 and I'm getting a bit tired. And I'm sorry to leave you, Ella, because you've just got here. Nice to see you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope it's not wet, nasty, cold. If it is, to stay inside. Cook some bacon. You won't even think of the cold, trust me. Crispy bacon, a nice bit of bread and butter. Until next time we meet, be safe, be careful, and I'll see you then. Good night.